Top 10 Fascinating Facts About Cherubim. Discover 10 surprising facts about cherubim, the mysterious celestial guardians. From their biblical origins to their influence on art and literature, this video reveals the secrets of these divine beings. Number 10. Biblical and mystical origin. Cherubim have their roots in the Bible, particularly in the Old Testament. They are first mentioned in the book of Genesis, where they are described as celestial beings assigned to protect the tree of life in the Garden of Eden after the expulsion of Adam and Eve. This initial role highlights their importance in Judeo-Christian mythology as guardians of divine secrets and protectors of sacred places. The word cherub comes from the Hebrew keruv, and its exact meaning is a subject of debate among scholars. However, it is generally accepted to imply some type of celestial being with a specific mission of vigilance and protection. In biblical and post-biblical traditions, cherubim are seen as direct servants of God, playing vital roles in executing His will. Throughout history, cherubim have been the subject of various interpretations and representations in religious texts, art, and literature. Their mention in the Bible and other religious texts has cemented their place as figures of great reverence and mystery, deeply influencing the theology and religious iconography of numerous cultures. Number 9. Multifaceted Appearance. Contrary to the popular image of cherubim as chubby, winged baby angels, the Bible presents a much more complex and formidable description of these beings. In the book of Ezekiel, cherubim are described with 4 faces: one of a human, one of a lion, one of an ox, and one of an eagle. Each of these faces has deep symbolism, representing wisdom, courage, strength, and sharpness, respectively. In addition to their 4 faces, cherubim are adorned with multiple wings, each filled with eyes, symbolizing omniscience and continuous vigilance over creation. This multifaceted appearance underscores their ability to see and know everything that happens, reinforcing their role as observers and guardians in the celestial realm. These descriptions suggest a much more majestic and powerful vision of cherubim compared to the commonly popularized image. This contrast reflects the richness of traditions and the depth of symbolism in biblical texts, highlighting the complexity and mystery surrounding these celestial beings. Number 8. Guardians of the Ark of the Covenant. In the Ark of the Covenant, one of the most sacred artifacts in biblical tradition, cherubim play a prominent and symbolically charged role. The Ark, which contained the tablets of the 10 Commandments, was covered by a lid called the mercy seat, upon which 2 golden cherubim were placed. These figures had their wings extended upwards, covering the mercy seat, and faced each other, symbolizing the protective presence and glory of God. These golden cherubim were not merely decorative. They represented the dwelling place of the divine presence. In the context of temple liturgy, it was believed that God manifested in the space between the cherubim above the mercy seat, making them a focal point of worship and divine communication. This symbolism reinforces their role as guardians of the most sacred space, where God directly meets His people. The image of cherubim guarding the Ark of the Covenant has been a recurring theme in religious art and theological interpretations, emphasizing their importance in the relationship between God and humanity. These celestial guardians, with their vigilant and protective posture, remain a powerful symbol of intercession and divine closeness in Judeo-Christian tradition. Number 7. Angelic Hierarchy. Within the angelic hierarchy, cherubim occupy a position of high importance. Classified in the second order of the 9 choirs of angels, they are situated just below seraphim and above thrones. This hierarchy reflects their proximity to God and their crucial role in the functioning of the cosmos according to medieval and patristic Christian theology. Cherubim are known for their constant adoration of God. Unlike other angels who may have more diverse missions, cherubim remain in the direct presence of God, praising Him and serving as guardians of His glory. This unbroken dedication underscores their devotion and purity, aspects that make them particularly worthy of their high position in the celestial hierarchy. The Angelic Hierarchy, detailed in works such as The Celestial Hierarchy by Pseudo-Dionysius the Areopagite, provides a framework for understanding the different functions and attributes of angels. Cherubim, with their closeness to God, not only act as worshippers but also as transmitters of divine wisdom, channeling celestial knowledge to lower-ranking angels and, consequently, to the human world. Number 6. Symbolism in art. In Renaissance and Baroque art, cherubim underwent a significant visual transformation. These celestial beings, described in biblical texts with a formidable and multifaceted appearance, began to be represented as small, chubby-winged angels known as putti. This representation, although less faithful to the biblical descriptions, had a lasting impact on the popular perception of cherubim. Putti, with their angelic faces and infant bodies, became symbols of innocence and purity. They can be found adorning frescoes, sculptures, and paintings in numerous churches and cathedrals across Europe, as well as in palaces and aristocratic residences. Artists like Raphael and Donatello popularized this image, using putti to express themes of divine and earthly love, as well as the joy and beauty of heavenly life. Although this stylized representation differs from the original description of cherubim, Renaissance and Baroque art captured the spiritual essence and grace of these beings. Putti remain an iconic image in Christian iconography and Western art in general, reflecting the evolution of cultural and artistic interpretations of cherubim over the centuries. Number 5. Presence in different cultures. Although cherubim are prominent figures in Judeo-Christian tradition, similar beings exist in other ancient cultures. One of the most notable parallels is found in ancient Mesopotamia, where Lamassu, creatures with bodies of lions or bulls, wings of eagles, and human faces, served as protective guardians. These figures were commonly placed at the entrances of temples and palaces, symbolizing strength and vigilance. In Egyptian mythology, similar figures such as sphinxes, which combine lion bodies with human heads, are found. These guardians were associated with the protection of sacred places and with divine authority, functions that resonate with the role of cherubim in biblical tradition. The presence of these beings in various cultures suggests a universal conception of celestial guardians protecting the sacred and representing divine power. The concept of hybrid protective beings appears to be a shared archetype among various ancient civilizations. This similarity not only underscores the importance of cherubim in Judeo-Christian tradition but also highlights a broader and deeper connection between the mythologies and religions of the ancient world, reflecting how different cultures attempted to understand and symbolize divine power and protection. Number 4. Divine messengers. Cherubim not only act as guardians and worshippers but also play a fundamental role as divine messengers. In various biblical narratives, these celestial beings are tasked with conveying God's decrees and will to humans, acting as intermediaries between heaven and earth. This role underscores the importance of cherubim in divine communication, ensuring that God's message is understood and carried out. A notable example of this function is found in the book of Ezekiel, where cherubim appear in a vision of the prophet. In this vision, cherubim transport God's mobile throne, symbolizing the omnipresence and dynamism of the divinity. Through this vision, Ezekiel receives prophetic messages about the fate of Israel and the importance of fidelity to God. Such narratives highlight how cherubim not only protect and worship but also facilitate direct communication between God and his prophets. In addition to their appearances in the Bible, cherubim as divine messengers have been a source of inspiration in literature and art, where they are often depicted carrying scrolls, trumpets, or books, symbols of the transmission of wisdom and divine revelations. Their role as messengers underscores their versatility and the breadth of their functions within the celestial hierarchy, consolidating their importance in the spiritual and religious realm. Number 3. Cherubim in Revelation. In the book of Revelation in the New Testament, cherubim reappear, this time in an even more impressive and mysterious form. Described as living creatures, in chapter 4, these cherubim are full of eyes inside and out, and each has 6 wings. This detail emphasizes their omniscience and ability to observe all aspects of creation, a powerful symbol of divine vigilance. Each of the 4 cherubim has a different face, one of a lion, another of an ox, one of a human, and the last of an eagle. These figures represent important aspects of creation and the nature of God. The lion symbolizes courage and royalty, the ox represents strength and sacrifice, the human denotes intelligence and reason, and the eagle signifies vision and elevated spirit. Their constant proclamation of "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty" highlights their role in worship and glorification of God. The appearance of cherubim in Revelation not only underscores their continuity from the Old Testament to the New but also highlights their role in eschatological events. As guardians and heralds of the final judgment, cherubim ensure that the divine plan is carried out, acting as witnesses and active participants in the culmination of sacred history. This apocalyptic presence reinforces their image as powerful and omnipresent beings, essential in Christian cosmology. Number 2. Influence on literature. Cherubim have left a profound mark on classical and contemporary literature, serving as inspiration for numerous authors and poets. One of the most notable works incorporating cherubim is John Milton's Paradise Lost. In this 17th century epic, cherubim actively participate in the narrative, particularly in Lucifer's rebellion and the fall of man. Milton describes these beings with a mix of majesty and ferocity, reflecting their roles as celestial guardians and warriors. In Paradise Lost, cherubim are depicted as defenders of paradise, armed and ready for battle against Satan's rebellious forces. This representation underscores their power and unwavering commitment to divine justice. Milton uses cherubim to explore themes of obedience, free will, and the nature of good and evil, providing a complex and rich vision of these angelic beings. Beyond Milton, cherubim appear in various literary works, from romantic poems to Gothic and modern novels. Authors like William Blake and C.S. Lewis have also included cherubim in their writings, highlighting their symbolic relevance and their capacity to represent profound spiritual concepts. The influence of cherubim in literature reflects not only their religious importance but also their power as iconic figures embodying the intersection between the divine and the human. Number 1. Guardians of God's Throne. The most crucial aspect of cherubim is their role as guardians of God's throne, a function that underscores their proximity and importance in the celestial realm. According to the Bible and other religious texts, cherubim are situated in the immediate presence of God, covering His throne with their wings and proclaiming His holiness. This representation is found in various biblical passages, including the books of Ezekiel and Isaiah, where it describes how cherubim surround and protect the divine throne. In the book of Ezekiel, for example, cherubim are seen holding God's mobile throne, an impressive celestial chariot that moves at divine will. This vision highlights their role not only as protectors but also as bearers of the divine presence, capable of moving with agility and precision in any direction. Their description with multiple faces and wings filled with eyes symbolizes their omniscience and their capacity for vigilance, ensuring that God's throne is perpetually guarded. In the book of Isaiah, cherubim are also mentioned during the prophet's famous vision, where they are heard singing, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty. The whole earth is full of His glory." This perpetual chorus of praise underscores their function as constant worshipers, reflecting the purity and holiness emanating from their proximity to God.